What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news, and before I jump into things, like always, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. Before I run down the highlights, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody. We finally hit 174,000 subscribers. We're less than 1,000 away to 175,000. That is a milestone I've been wanting to hit. So we're definitely going to do it this year. And then going forward, the 200K milestone, that's a big one. I really want to hit that one. When we do, I definitely got to do a giveaway at the 200,000 milestone. Hopefully it's before 2026 because, believe it or not, 2026 marks the 20th anniversary of Sneaker Files. That's when it was started. I plan on doing a lot of great stuff during 2026 to celebrate, maybe a collab. I don't know. I've been trying, but we'll see. But as for highlights in this video, the Air Jordan 13 Chicago will return in 2026. What does that mean for the He Got Game Air Jordan 13? Well, you probably see the thumbnail, but I'm going to talk about that more later on in the video. Now, we also have a handful of first looks. We have some official photos and release dates. This will be for Jordan Brand and Nike, but there's also news from ADIDAS and New Balance in this video. And now let's jump into the news. Seems like there's quite a bit of hype for the new Kith New Balance Osaka pack, and I just wanted to go over the release details with you guys. So as many of you know, there are two pairs releasing. This includes the New Balance 992 and the New Balance 991 V2. So the most important part is the release info, and I'm going to read straight from their website. The drawings for the Kith New Balance Osaka open on Thursday, March 20th, which would be today, exclusively on the Kith app. Limited quantities for both styles release on Friday, March 21st, alongside the grand opening of Kith Osaka. The made in UK 991 V2 will be available at Kith shops and at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Kith.com, their Canada website, and their Europe website, as well as the Kith app. The made in USA 992, which in my opinion I feel like is the better model, I really like that one, will be available exclusively in-store at Kith Osaka and on Kith.com, as well as their Canada and Europe website and the Kith app. Now, unfortunately, I don't know why they do this. They never include the retail price, not on their press releases or anything like that. I wasn't able to find it, so unfortunately, I can't provide that, but I did want to give you guys the release details. Now, this pair is really dope. I talked about them in a previous video, but we now have release details for the Unheardof Adidas Adistar Cushion 3, known as Piggy runners. So this is another dope collab in collaboration with Unheardof. Now, the release details are very unfortunate because yes, these are going to be limited, but before I get to that, just to go over the pair, they are constructed with premium mesh and suede and are covered in shades of pink. We also have some red accents on the top eyelets, heel, and hinted on the midsole, and then the tongue features their embroidered pig graphic. The pig eyes are also placed on the heels, and the insoles feature the signature Unheardof pork chop logo. Lastly, each pair comes with special charms. Now, if you want to pick up a pair, it definitely won't be easy. Only 1,500 pairs are dropping, and they're going to be available exclusively at Unheardof. And I haven't heard of if there's going to be a bigger release or not. I don't think so. I did receive a press release from ADIDAS. They didn't make mention of it in there, so this is probably going to be available only at their shop. And the retail price is $185. Moving on to Nike, and in this video, there's quite a few official images that leaked, which of course gives us a better look. And some of these we haven't talked about in a while, so I decided just to go over them in this video. But one of the sets of official images that leaked is the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro B Pale Ivory. Now, these are clean. These are definitely nice, but I feel like the midsole kind of throws it off to me. Maybe if it matched the upper, it probably would have looked better, but Anyways, the shoes feature a pale ivory, summit white, white copper moon, and black colorway. As most of you know, this shoe is a tribute to the late 90s and early 2000 Pro B releases. This was a model that was dropped before Nike SB started releasing SB Dunks. And overall, this is a clean colorway. It's nice. I don't think it'll be too hard to obtain if you're looking to buy. And as for the release details, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but they are expected to drop summer 2025, which means a release will take place between April and June. The retail price will be $125. Not only do we have quite a few official images, but there's more than usual SB Dunks in this video. And in my opinion, that's a great thing because I'm a big fan of the SB Dunk, but official images just popped up of the Nike SB Dunk Low Red Stardust. Now, this will be an inline release. It shouldn't be difficult to obtain, although, in my opinion, I really like these. I like these better than the previous pair I just talked about. I'm not sure if everyone will feel the same way, but the pair features a Red Stardust, neutral olive, monarch, and coconut milk colorway. I really like when Nike SB uses kind of muted colors. I guess that's the best way to describe it, and then covers the shoes in suede. As well, I like the olive details. That's probably what's drawing me to this pair. But again, unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, but summer 2025 is when these are going to drop, so between April and June, and the retail price will be $115. After dropping the Nike Air Spiridon in Thunder Blue, Undefeated will drop 2 new colorways of the Air Zoom Spiridon in March. So these pairs are known as Phantom and Cargo Khaki, and they should be more obtainable than the Thunder Blue pair since only 1,000 pairs of those dropped. But as for the Phantom pair, it features a Phantom, black, and light cream colorway. And then the Cargo pair features just a black and Cargo Khaki color combination, although both pairs have a few additional shades throughout. On the Phantom pair, it uses its nickname across most of the mudguard. It outlines the swoosh, covers the eye stays, and fills in the midsole. It also comes with light cream accents and black. Now for the Cargo Khaki pair, this one comes dressed in mostly black, but we have that olive hue on the tongue outlining the swoosh. And then the mini swoosh by the toe is dipped in orange, and then we have a blue label on the collar. We only have a handful of images, and it's pretty much one image that's cropped to showcase like a little bit of a closer look at each shoe. But from what I can see, Undefeated branding will also be placed on the tongues. Now, as for the release date, both pairs are set to drop on March 22nd at Undefeated stores and online. So far, it looks like this is going to be an exclusive to Undefeated, and the retail price will be $160 each. Another shoe that we received official images of is the 2025 Nike KD 4 Easter. Now, maybe a month or so ago, actually it might have been longer, we received a first look at this shoe, and I did talk about them in a previous video. I don't know if I talked about the release date, so if I haven't, I'm definitely going to provide it here. But as many of you know, this is an OG colorway, which first launched in 2012, and it was part of Nike Basketball's Easter pack. Now, the colorway of this pair reflects Easter or spring, but the pair doesn't feature any like Easter bunnies or eggs or anything like that. But as you can see, it features shades of green throughout. On the upper, it has a white swoosh. White also hits the midsole. You can also see purple accents throughout. And then we have Durant's number 35 on the tongue, his KD logo on the heel, and then a shade of green covers the rubber outsole. These are dope. I do own the original pair, so I won't be picking up the 2025. But more importantly, as for the release date, this pair is currently scheduled to drop on April 18th, and the retail price will be $130. In the last video, I talked about the Nike Air DT Max 96 Love Letter to Connie. This pair is a tribute to Deion Sanders' mother, Connie Sanders. Now, in that video, I was showing a mock-up of what I saw, and that was months ago that I initially put it out. Also, I talked about the release date. I had no idea that a couple hours later, official images would leak of the shoes, and as you could see, they are on point to the mock-up. Now, of course, this gives us a better look at the shoes than the mock-up. It was only a side angle. This gives us pretty much all angles of the shoe. Now, there's one element that I kind of said it could have something on the insoles as a tribute to his mom, although I didn't know it. But with these official images, you could see that on the insoles, It reads, "Love you, Ma." I believe that's what it says. It's kind of cut off. But overall, these are nice. A lot of people seem to like them. And as for the release date, they are scheduled to drop on May 7th, and the retail price will be $170. Now, these should be available at more retailers. I wouldn't say it's a GR, but I don't think these will be super difficult to obtain. I feel like Nike has produced enough pairs of these to go around. Okay, we have one of two release dates for the Yuto Horigome Nike SB Dunk Low. These are being called Matcha or Asparagus due to the color description, which is asparagus, Legion green, light khaki, dark Loden, sesame, and burnt sienna. Now, I say two release dates because typically SBs, they drop at skate shops first, and then they'll be available on the Sneakers app. So the first release, which will take place at skate shops, is expected to take place on April 3rd. Now, I haven't heard of a Sneakers release date just yet, but they are expected to drop on the Sneakers app, of course. And the retail price will be $130. Now, for this pair, it does seem like they have some hype. They'll probably sell out. And overall, April seems like it's going to be a pretty solid month for SB releases. There's two that are expected to drop in April. I'm going to talk about the second one next, which I like more than these, although these are very dope in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says, Nike had intended these to be the Black History Month SB Dunk Low. Now, there's a new nickname for them, and I said there probably would be. There's actually a few. One of them is Urban Cowboy, another one is Rodeo Dunk, and then the third one is Black Rodeo. Now, for this pair, we do have a new release date. Not only that, we have official photos giving us a better look. Now, the rumor was that these were supposed to debut in March. I'm not sure where this rumor started from, but it was going around. I do believe I talked about it in my March 2025 Nike and Air Jordan release dates video. But I initially heard and I mentioned that they were going to drop in April, and that doesn't make sense for a Black History Month sneaker. You would think that they would drop in February, which initially that was the plan. I don't know what happened. Delays did, I guess. But either way, the new release date is April 17th. Again, that could change, but that is the date for now. Also, what's really dope about these shoes is that they come with like a handkerchief, which features the same graphic that is used on the insoles. So I definitely will make sure to include photos of not only the insoles, but the handkerchief, as well as just overall the entire shoes. Now, on the inside of the tongue, which I didn't see before, it has a label. Now, I can't read the top part of it. Maybe some of you guys can, but the bottom part reads, "Crafted for the Modern Cowboy." So when we get these official images, it does show us a few different angles than other people when they have them in hand or show off first look. So another element that I didn't know the shoes had. Now, this is labeled a quick strike, so they're going to be on the limited side, but I hope that for everybody trying to get a pair actually gets their hands on a size for retail. Moving on to Jordan Brand, and we have a couple K54 releases in this video. So the first pair is the Jordan Flight Court. Now, after the collaboration dropped with Who Decides War, I haven't heard anybody talking about this shoe. Everybody was hyping it up and saying how great it was and how it looks good and all this stuff. And I know a lot of people were just blinded by Who Decides War collabing on the shoe, and that's fine. I just wanted to make mention on it. But nevertheless, we have a new pair, and this is in collaboration with K54, which, as many of you know, is a streetball tournament in Paris. And this pair features a cell, tour yellow, chili red, and black colorway. And that's going to be the theme of their upcoming pack, because not only do we have the Flight Court, but there's the Jordan 1 Low OG, which I'm going to talk about later on in this video. And there's a Jordan Luka 77. But this pair features cell suede on the upper, and then we have white leather on the mudguard, which wraps the heel. Now, the pair does feature yellow accents on part of the midsole, the top eyelet. We have co-branding on the insoles, the Jumpman logo on the tongues, and then K54 branding on the heels. They also feature a perforated tongue, a very aged midsole for this pair. I'm not sure if people are going to like that or not, but if you do, this shoe definitely has it. And then we have a black rubber outsole with some hits of yellow and cell. It almost looks muslin in these photos. But as for a release date, this pair is going to drop summer 2025. Unfortunately, we don't have a specific release date, and the retail price will be $100. Now, I want to get your guys' honest thoughts on these. Are you feeling this pair, the colorway, the model? Let me know down below. Official images just popped up of the Air Jordan 4 Net Rattan. Now, this marks the third colorway of this model, and this is our first look. So the shoes feature a rattan and metallic gold colorway. It takes the same theme as the previous pairs. It just comes covered in one shade and then has a little bit of metallic gold, which lands on the Jumpman hang tag. It's more like a charm. And then we have another charm by the heel, which reads Air Jordan. Now, obviously, the Air Jordan 4 is hyped. I don't know about this model. It doesn't seem like it too much. The Net nickname comes from the shroud that's used on the overlay. Again, that is not removable unless you cut it and then you can't put it back on. I seen a video of somebody removing that shroud and I don't think it looks good with it removed. But then again, I don't think it looks really good with it on, but that's just my opinion. Now, although this marks the third release, I have yet to see this shoe in store. Maybe by you guys, you've seen them, but I haven't. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe Jordan Brand has cut back on the production of this model, knowing that it wouldn't sell out if they made it a high GR. But if they released them in lower quantities, then I'm sure they would move over time because I've seen some comments where people actually like them. But let me know your thoughts on this pair down below. Again, we don't have a specific release date, but the shoes are expected to drop summer 2025, which means a release will take place between April and June. And the retail price will be $210. Also, if I forgot to mention, this is a women's exclusive release. The Air Jordan 4 Net is a women's specific model. Part of the Rare Air series, official images popped up of the Air Jordan 1 High OG, Rare Air, and Cinnabar. Now, this is a women's exclusive release, and I recently picked these up. I recorded a short video a couple days ago. The video should go live tomorrow, and I have to admit, the quality on these are actually kind of nice. They're pretty dope in hand. I didn't expect that from the shoe, I'll be honest, but some people aren't fans of them due to the color blocking, which features a Cell, Cinnabar, and Light Bone colorway. The leather is not bad on these. They're pretty solid. It comes covered in Cell. It also features raw edges. I like that look about these. But what throws me off is that it features a wool-like material on the swoosh, ankle, and liner. That part I'm not a huge fan of, especially on the liner, because if you're wearing these during the summer, your feet are definitely going to be sweating. At least your ankles. Now on the lateral side, we have the Wings logo done in red. And what's unique about this pair is on the medial side, we have another Wings logo. Usually the Jordan 1 doesn't have a Wings logo on the medial side, but it has Nike Air and that's done in black. We have the signature blue, red, and white tongue labels with Nike Air branding. Those same shades cover the insoles and it features Rare Air. They also come with special packaging. I'll make sure to throw an image in this video. And then we have a Cell midsole and a red rubber outsole. So these were supposed to drop back in January, but they were delayed. We have a new release date, which is April 5th. The retail price will be $180. We also received official photos of the Air Jordan 1 High OG Rare Air Deep Royal Blue. Now, I like these a lot. Will I get them? Not on release date. I'll probably hold off to see if they go on sale. Now, unfortunately, I don't have these in hand just yet. I'm hoping to get them soon, and then I'm going to do a review of them. I plan on it, that is. And then I'll probably throw in the Cinnabar pair just to do a comparison and talk about that. Just combine it in one video. This pair is also expected to be a GR. They will be available in full family sizing. And the official colorway on them is white, black, neutral gray, deep royal blue, and muslin. So the muslin lands on the midsole, giving them an aged look. Now, as for the Rare Air part, the Wings logo on the ankle, it reads Nike Air instead of Air Jordan. And in these official images, you can kind of see it that the swoosh has red underneath. So that is expected to wear away, and of course will feature red. I'm really curious how this looks with it being worn away. I'm very tempted to buy a pair early just to remove the black paint and just to see it and then share it with you guys. I'm tempted to do it. I may. The pair will also feature Rare Air branding on the insoles. It looks like it has that same wool, but not as bad as the Cinnabar pair on the ankle. I just hope it's not across the liner. This pair will also come with special packaging as well. The packaging on these are pretty dope. It has a black and red lid, and then the box itself is blue and white. So a mismatched box like the Lost and Found and the upcoming UNC Reimagined ones. I like them, but again, I may wait till they go on sale, but I may just buy early to remove the swoosh. I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, as for the release date, they're expected to drop on April 5th, the same day as the Cinnabar pair. The retail price in adult sizing is $180, grade school costs $140, preschool is priced at $85, and toddler sizes will cost $70. We also received a first look at the K54 Air Jordan 1 Low OG. Now, not only does this give us a first look at this upcoming release, but it gives us a first look at the larger swoosh. So as many of you know, Jordan Brand is going to start using a larger swoosh on the Air Jordan 1 Low OG. A lot of people have been asking for it, and it's finally going to happen. So this is our first look on that. Now, it's probably not everybody's favorite colorway, although I actually like these. I think they're kind of clean. Now, the pair features a black, tor yellow, and chili red colorway. Now, looking closer, the pair features yellow canvas across the base, and then we have black suede on the overlays. My favorite part about this shoe is the contrast stitching that runs throughout, which is done in yellow. The pair also features K54 branding on the tongues, the lateral side, and the lace doubre. There's a little bit of red used, which lands on the co-branding located on the insoles, and the hang tag, which reads World Street Ball Championship. The pair also features a black midsole and a yellow rubber outsole. As well, each pair comes with special packaging and features 3 sets of laces, which includes black, red, and yellow. Now, there was a mock-up going around of these months back. I don't remember who did the mock-up, but all I could think was, man, I hope they don't look like this. They remind me of some Ronald McDonald shoes. I don't know if any of you remember it. I did feature it in one of the videos, and I was quite confident that they wouldn't look like this because it was that bad. But no shot or no hate at whoever created it. I don't remember. I know I've created some pretty bad mock-ups. For example, the upcoming Summit White Air Jordan 1 Low OG. The mock-up on that one was horrible. But again, it's only a mock-up. At that stage, what's important is the info. I mean, if you can get a first look, that's even better. But sometimes people just can't. But as for the release date, unfortunately, we don't have one. But they are expected to drop summer 2025. And the retail price will be $160. Shout out to everybody who commented and listened to my last video. Specifically for those who listened in the outro. I kind of made a hint that I had some big news coming this week. Some of you may be happy, some of you may be upset, and that's why I'm recording late at night. I wanted to get this news out to you guys. So let's start off with the good news. The Air Jordan 13 Chicago is returning in spring 2026. This is exclusive to you guys. This is in collaboration with my good friend Z Sneakerhead Z. Shout out to him. We double and triple checked this info. That's why it didn't go out earlier in the week. I wanted to make sure this was 1000% accurate. Now, the images used is the 2017 release. This is not the new pair. Hopefully they update the shape. But yes, the shoe will be returning in spring 2026. Now, let me run down some history for you guys. They first dropped in 1998. Michael Jordan would wear this pair on court. And back in 2016, there was a pair that went up for auction that was game worn by MJ and signed. I don't remember what they went for, but I tried to look it up and I just couldn't find it. Now, before Jordan Brand released a better retro of the shoe, I shouldn't say better, but a more accurate retro of the shoe, they dropped a low top pair in 2005. Of course, the low top silhouette of the shoe does not have the hologram. It features the Jumpman logo, but the Jordan 13 Low is actually a really dope model. I'm not a huge fan of low top sneakers. I mean, on SB Dunks I am, and Dunks in general, but the 13 and 14 Low are both really nice in my opinion. Now, 5 years later, in 2010, we would see an actual retro of the pair in mid-top form. Some people complained about the shape, but that's what happened a lot in the mid-2000s and the 2010s. The shape was off, but overall, people were happy that the shoes just released. Now, we last saw the pair release in 2017. That's when the shoes were starting to be called Chicago. Now, the initial release were just called white and red, and then later on, they obtained the cherry nickname. But in 2017, I'm not sure how, but the Chicago nickname got attached to them. So that's why I'm calling them Chicago instead of cherry, and I feel like cherry is more associated with the Jordan 12. Although both kind of have like a same color blocking going on, mostly white, and then we have red. But either way, the shoes are returning. They will feature a white, black, and true red colorway. Now, these are expected to be a GR, more than likely will be available in full family sizing, and the retail price will be $210. Now, let's move on to the bad news. Again, this might be bad news for some, but the Air Jordan 13 He Got Game is not releasing in 2026. Now, early reports said that the Jordan 13 He Got Game would return in 2026, and that kind of spread like wildfire. Now, I did talk about it on the channel. This wasn't my info that I initially put out. I did hear talks about a shoe coming, but the release was not confirmed at that time. Now, there was a style code in the colorway that was linked to the He Got Game Jordan 13, but from all my sources, this will actually be the Jordan 13 Chicago. So the same style code, the same colorway, white, black, true red, is actually the Chicago release. Now, as most of you guys know, I leak information all the time, something I really enjoy doing. But when the 2026 info started to go around, I felt like it was way too early because even though there was a style code and all that stuff, things could change. And this information is just taken from a sheet of paper. So basically, when you see white, black, true red, and you just see Air Jordan 13, you're kind of guessing at what colorway it's going to be. There's a few other shoes that leaked that are going to have the same situation, and soon I'm going to talk about them when I get the okay. This is one of them. So unfortunately, no plans for the He Got Game Air Jordan 13 to return. I know a lot of you were really hyped about that release. I kind of was as well. Personally, if I had to pick between the two, I think I'd rather have the He Got Game. That's just me though. We may see them drop in the future. More than likely we will, but as it stands right now, there are no plans for that shoe to release. But let me know your thoughts down below. Are you happy that Jordan Brand is releasing the Jordan 13 Chicago instead of the He Got Game? Or would you rather see the He Got Game return and the Chicago colorway not release? And that's going to do it for this video. Like always, greatly appreciate you guys for watching. If you have a second and haven't done so already, also appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe by hitting the button below. One more thing, if you haven't done so yet, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you can be alerted every time I drop a new video. Now, as for videos this week, well, yesterday I dropped the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Obsidian review. Well, it was a short video. There will be a link down in the description if you want to check that out. And then tomorrow I'm going to drop another short. And I believe on Saturday I'm going to drop another short as well. I don't plan on doing any reviews this week unless something pops up, which could happen, but we'll wait and see. I should be dropping something new next week. We'll see as well. I'm just waiting on that. It's going to be some pretty big news. But for this video, let me know what you liked or disliked down below. As well, if you have any questions, make sure to leave that down below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.